I'm out with my dad on a section of the Catamount Trail, which he is the trail chief for. Similar to the long trail, this is a trail which runs the length of the state of Vermont, except it's designed for backcountry skiing rather than hiking, wintertime use. We try to get out and each fall and maintain each of the, multiple segments, but which is the section that my dad maintains. Try to get out there and do pre-winter work to get it ready for the winter skiing season, which is what I'm doing right here, grass whipping this brush away, which is, it serves several purposes. One, kind of the primary, is so that it doesn't get caught in ski poles your ski poles when they're out on the side of you. But it's also just to keep down little woody vegetation from growing that, although might not be a problem this year, will over the years become a problem that you need to clear. Also, though, this area isn't briary any longer. It used to be a lot more. Well, here's a little patch of briars. It's keeping down the briars, which can snag on you and potentially put little rips in the pants you're skiing with. We also try to get out and ski the whole thing in the wintertime, carrying some trail work, tools. And this is a pretty wide cleared area because this is a 10-year-old, last used 10 years ago, logging road that we've used as part of the trail. And given that this is a winter trail, there isn't any treadway like you'd have on a summer hiking trail. It also means that though we try to avoid it, you can build the trail through a swamp. Isn't ideal, but basically just given the geography in this area, it's quite a different route to not put it through this swamp, because this will freeze over in the wintertime, at least for the most part, enough that it isn't too bad to cross, though it is really annoying to do trail work and have to walk through this swamp. It's a possibility that there are hiking trails that go through swamps, but then you need lots of either rocks or wooden bridges to keep people out of the water, because having a lot of people hiking through a swamp is really not good for either the hiking or the environment. One place where you actually need to do more work than a hiking trail is at these stream crossings. A hiking trail, you'd expect the people using it to just kind of hop across the rocks. The stream is only like 6 foot wide, and there's some pretty good rocks for people to jump across on. However, in the winter time, first of all, if there's snow on the ground, that's going to build up on the banks, and streams like this usually don't freeze, and so that's going to not have any snow on it. And so it's going to be a much deeper gully than it kind of looks now, which there isn't much of a gully now. Some of these streams do have deep gullies, but there's going to be kind of a gully that's going to be harder to cross. There's also the fact that you really don't want to get your skis wet, because if you get them wet, then the water freezes on them, it ices them up, and it's just terrible, because then they don't glide any longer. They aren't useful as skis. So we like to try to build bridges across these trails. This is one that we just rebuilt now. The bridge that had been here down in this area had washed out in the 2023 summer flooding, and when we were out here last fall, we didn't have the time or tools to rebuild it. And so we actually took some of the logs from that old bridge, because they were still the best logs around here, though not this log down here, which actually got washed down substantially further. We took 2 of the logs from the old bridge and cut them in half to make it wider, and crossed narrower portion of the trail up here. The reason that we use the old bridge logs, chopping them in half, is that they're still the best wood around here, least rotten. This bridge was only built 3 years ago from a freshly fallen tree, and we don't have permission from the landowner to cut new trees to make a bridge, so we have to use what's fallen to make a bridge, though I imagine they'd be okay with us cutting standing dead wood, but there isn't any good fallen recently live wood around here, and so this was the best wood to just kind of chop in half and make it probably wide enough. This is not likely something you'd ski across. Oftentimes you cross these kind of perpendicular to logs when you're skiing, but it's enough that somebody can get across. This one might be wide enough. Depends how much snow and how mounded it is to feel comfortable with that. Though I might have cleared branches that were this low on the long trail, probably would have. Here on a winter trail, I want to clear a lot higher because hopefully people will be coming through here when there are at least a foot, if not 2 or 3 feet of snow, though based on recent winters that may not be the case. So I want to make sure that branches are cleared just higher up than I would on a summer hiking trail, so that they don't get in the way of somebody who is up higher than me. I also want to consider the weight of the snow on the branches that might pull them down. And this is maybe a little bit extreme for this particular branch, but whole trees, particularly birches, can fall in. So that's another reason to cut kind of a higher swath than I would on a summer hiking trail. Not that like the long trail doesn't get used in winter, but that's not really what it's maintained for.